The first kiss. The first thing everyone knew about Tae was that he never raised his voice. The second thing everyone knew was that if Yn was around, Tae was never too far behind. They had been together since they were 5. When Yn scraped her knee climbing mango trees, Tae carried her home. When she forgot her lunch, Tae quietly split his in half. When she cried because she lost a stuffed rabbit, Tae searched the entire neighborhood until sunset. Some people fell in love after years of dating. Tae had simply never stopped caring for her. Yn, on the other hand, was sunshine wrapped inside a human. She laughed too loudly, talked too much, made friends with every stray cat. Started arguments she couldn't finish, and somehow managed to drag the quiet, reserved Tae into every bit of chaos she created. One afternoon, Yn was eating ice cream with her best friend, Mina. Mina sighed dramatically. Mina, Yn, you and Tae have been dating for almost 15 months. Yn blinked. Yn, Mina, have you even kissed him? Yn froze with the spoon halfway to her mouth. Yn. Mina, you haven't. Everyone in the cafe turned to look. Yn covered Mina's mouth. Yn, shhh. Why are you announcing my personal life? Mina, I'm just saying, if you don't make your relationship romantic, someone else might. Yn frowned. Yn, someone else? Mina, Tae is handsome, gentle, kind. Girls likes him.Yn's eyes slowly widened. Yn, they do. That entire day,Yn's brain stopped functioning. What if someone steals Tae? What if he thinks I'm boring? What if couples are supposed to kiss every day? Wait. How do people even kiss? She spent 2 hours secretly watching romance scenes online. Then another hour practicing on her pillow. Then apologized to the pillow. Yn, sorry, that looked painful. The next evening, Tae arrived at the park carrying her favorite strawberry milk. Just like always. Tae, you skipped lunch again. Yn smiled awkwardly. Hee. Tae looked at her suspiciously. Something was definitely wrong. She was being quiet. Very suspicious. They sat beneath their favorite tree. Neither spoke. Yn kept staring at Tae's lips. Tae noticed. The evening breeze was gentle. The park was almost empty, painted in shades of orange by the setting sun. Tae and Yn sat on their usual bench, sharing a box of fries. Well, mostly Yn was eating them. Tae had accepted his fate years ago. Yn stole another fry from his side. Tae raised an eyebrow. Tae, weren't those yours? Yn nodded while chewing. Yn, they were. Tae looked at his empty side of the box. Tae, then why are you eating mine? Yn smiled proudly. Yn, yours taste better. Tae sighed dramatically. Tae, they're literally from the same box. Yn shrugged. Yn, love changes the flavor. Tae chuckled, shaking his head. Tae, I don't think that's how fries work. Yn pointed a fry at him. Yn, don't question my science. For the next few minutes, Yn couldn't focus on anything he was saying. She kept remembering Mina's words. If you don't kiss him, someone else will. Her eyes slowly drifted toward Tae's lips. Tae stopped talking. Tae, Yn? She immediately looked away. Yn, Tae smiled. Tae, I've been telling you about my meeting for the last 5 minutes. Yn blinked. Yn, really? Tae nodded. Tae, you weren't listening. Yn scratched her neck awkwardly. Yn, I was thinking. Tae tilted his head. Tae, about? Yn nearly blurted out, your lips. Instead. Yn, global warming. Tae stared at her. Tae, global warming? Yn nodded too quickly. Yn, very serious topic. Tae couldn't stop smiling. Tae, of course. 5 minutes later. She looked at him again. Then his lips. Then away. Then back again. Tae finally laughed. Tae, all right. Yn froze. Tae, you've been staring at me for 10 minutes.Yn's ears turned bright red. Yn, I wasn't staring. Tae smiled. Tae, really? Yn nodded. Tae leaned in slightly. Tae, you have been looking at me. Yn covered her face. Yn, stop proving your point. A moment of silence passed. Tae gently nudged her shoulder. Tae, something's bothering you. Yn looked at him. Then looked away again. Yn, Tae. Tae, whom? Yn hesitated. Yn, are we a normal couple? Tae blinked. Tae, I think so. Yn frowned. Yn, but we don't really do couple things. Tae smiled softly. Tae, what do you mean? Yn started counting on her fingers. Yn, we eat. We walk. You carry my shopping bags. You scold me when I skip meals. You steal my stress. You make me laugh. She paused. Yn, wait. That actually sounds nice. Tae laughed. Tae, it does. Yn looked at him seriously. Yan but, we've never, she leaned closer and whispered. Yan kissed. Tae's ears immediately turned pink. But he was maintaining his composure. He looked away for a second. Tae oh. Yan panicked. Yan was that weird? Tae shook his head. Tae no. Yan too sudden? Tae smiled shyly. Tae a little. Yan immediately stood up. Yan forget I said ain't hing. She turned to run away. Tae gently caught her wrist. Not tightly. Just enough to stop her. Tae hey. She slowly looked back. Tae smiled reassuringly. Tae you don't have to run. Yan I'm embarrassed. Tae I noticed. Yan took a deep breath. Yan can I, try? Tae looked at her for a few seconds. Then nodded gently. Tae only if it's because you want to. Not because you think you have to. Yan smiled nervously. Yan I do. There was almost no distance between them now. Yan's heartbeat was so loud she was convinced he could hear it. Yan whispered to herself. Yan okay, you've watched enough movies. You can do this. Tae heard her. He smiled. Tae talking yourself through it. Yan's face turned scarlet. Yan don't listen. Tae laughed softly. Tae sorry. Yan placed both hands on his shoulders. Then frowned. Yan wait. Tae Yan moved one hand to his cheek. Yan movies do this. She tilted his face. Then tilted her own. Then stopped. Yan. Tae waited patiently. Yan looked confused. Yan which side do people tilt? Tae blinked. Tae I don't know. Yan gasped. Yan you don't know either. Tae laughed. Tae this is my first kiss too. Actually, Tae was teasing her. Yan stared at him. Yan really? Tae nodded. Tae I've been waiting for you. Her heart melted. Yan smiled so brightly it made Tae smile too. Yan this is emotional damage. I trusted you. Tae stepped closer and gently flicked her forehead. Tae you're adorable when you're flustered. Yan covered her burning face. Yan don't say adorable right now. I'm trying to be romantic. Tae's smile softened. Tae you already are. You just don't realize it. She closed her eyes. Very slowly, she leaned closer. Missed his lips completely. Their noses bumped. Yan now? Tae smiled. Tae maybe, a little lower. Yan nodded with her eyes still closed. Yan right. Lower. Got it. She tried again. Almost reached him. Then suddenly remembered. Should I close my mouth? Open it. What do I do? Her brain completely short-circuited. In full panic. She accidentally bit his lower lip. Hard. Tae flinched. Tae Yan immediately stepped back. Her eyes flew open. A tiny drop of blood appeared. Time stopped. Yan looked at the blood. Looked at Tae. Looked back at the blood. Yan. Yan pointed at him with trembling fingers. Yan I have committed a crime. Yan I killed him. She burst into tears. Yan I'm sorry. I don't know how kissing works. Yan why are people doing this? Yan this is a dangerous activity. People walking through the park stared at them. Tae couldn't decide whether to laugh or comfort her first. He gently cupped her cheeks. Tae hey. I'm okay. Yan sniffled. Tae couldn't help laughing despite the sting. Yan grabbed both sides of her head. Yan why did I bite you? Yan who bites their boyfriend? Yan I practiced on a pillow. The pillow didn't prepare me. Tae laughed harder. Yan looked ready to cry. Yan don't laugh. You're injured. Tae gently held her hands before she could panic any further. Tae hey, I'm all right. Yan sniffled. Yan you're bleeding. Tae smiled warmly. Tae just a little. Tae softly wiped away one of her tears with his thumb. Tae look at me. She slowly raised her eyes. Tae do you know what my favorite part was? Yan there was a favorite part? Tae yes. Yan waited nervously. Tae you asked for my permission. You were nervous because you cared about how I felt. That means much more to me than a perfect kiss ever could. Yan's eyes became glossy. Yan you're not disappointed? Tae shook his head. Tae not even a little. He smiled playfully. Tae although, next time, maybe let's not use your teeth. Yan covered her face in embarrassment. Yan there's a next time. Tae chuckled. Tae of course. Yan peeked through her fingers. Yan promise? Tae intertwined his fingers with hers. Tae as many tries as it takes. Yan smiled. Yan then. I will become the best kisser ever. Tae laughed. But the story didn't end here that night. The guilt completely consumed her. Mina somehow convinced her friends that juice would help. It was not juice. It was wine. Exactly 3 glasses later. Yan was dramatically heartbroken over the crime she'd committed. Around 10 p.m. Tae received a phone call. Mina Tae. Mina, please come. Mina, your girlfriend is apologizing to a street lamp. 10 minutes later. Tae found Yn hugging a lamp post. Yn, I'm sorry. Yn, I didn't mean to bite you. The lamp remained silent. Yn nodded sadly. Yn, thank you for forgiving me. Tae pinched the bridge of his nose. Tae Yn. She slowly turned. Her eyes became huge. Yn Tae. She pointed at him dramatically. Yn, there's two of you. Tae looked around. Tae, no. Tae, there's just me. Yn leaned closer. Yn, the other one is prettier. Tae laughed quietly. She immediately wrapped both arms around him. Yn, I am a terrible girlfriend. Tae carefully held her before she stumbled. Tae says who? Yn pouted. Yn, me. I bit my own boyfriend. Wolves bite. Puppies bite. I bite. Yn gasped dramatically. Yn Tae. Yn, am I secretly a golden retriever? Tae couldn't stop smiling. Tae may be a tine one. Yn frowned. Yn tine? Excuse me. Yn tried to stand proudly. Immediately lost balance. Tae caught her before she fell. Again. Yn blinked. Yn, you're very catchable. Tae chuckled. Tae, I think you mean. Tae, you're very catchable. Yn squinted. Yn, that's exactly what I said. Tae, it wasn't. Yn pointed at him. Yn, don't argue with a drunk genius. Yn suddenly stopped walking. Tae, what happened? Yn pointed at the road with complete seriousness. Yn, the road. Tae, yes? Yn, it's moving. Tae looked down. The road, unsurprisingly, wasn't moving. Tae, I think you're the one moving. Yn gasped. Yn Tae, whispered dramatically. The earth is spinning. Tae couldn't help laughing. Tae, that's scientifically correct. Yn proudly folded her arms. Yn, see? Yn, I'm educated. The moment she took one step, she stumbled. Tae caught her before she could fall. Yn looked up at him with sparkling eyes. Yn, I knew you'd catch me. Tae smiled softly. Tae, I'll always catch you. Yn nodded proudly. Yn, that's why I fall so much. Tae blinked. Tae. Tae, please don't make that your life philosophy. A cold breeze passed. Yn shivered. Without saying a word, Tae removed his hoodie and placed it over her shoulders. Yn frowned. Yn, what about you? Tae, I'm okay. Yn poked his arm. Yn, you're lying. Tae smiled. Tae, maybe a little. Yn tried taking the hoodie off. Yn, here. Tae gently held her hands. Tae, keep it. Yn looked at him for a few seconds before smiling lazily. Yn, you always make me feel like a burrito. Tae laughed. Tae, warm? Yn loved. For a second. Neither of them spoke. Tae handed her a bottle of water. Tae, drink. Yn looked offended. Yn, why? Tae, because you've been drinking. Yn looked at the bottle suspiciously. Yn, are you trying to make me healthy? Tae, yes. Yn narrowed her eyes. Yn, that's exactly what a healthy person would say. Tae sighed. Tae, Yn. Yn crossed her arms. Yn, I know your tricks. Tae unscrewed the cap. Held the bottle near her lips. Tae, just one sip. Yn opened her mouth like a stubborn 5-year-old. Tae laughed. Tae, you're impossible. Yn proudly nodded. Yn, that's why you love me. Tae smiled. Tae, as many tries as it takes. Yn smiled. Yn, then. I will become the best kisser ever. Tae laughed. But the story didn't end here. Tae, as many tries as it takes. Yn smiled. Yn, then. I will become the best kisser ever. Tae laughed. But the story didn't end here. Tae, as many tries as it takes. Yn smiled. Yn, then. I will become the best kisser ever. Tae laughed. But the story didn't end here. Tae, that's one of the reasons. She immediately drank the whole bottle. Yn, see? Good girl. She paused. Yn, wait, did I just praise myself? Tae chuckled. Tae, you did halfway home. Yn suddenly sat on the sidewalk. Tae crouched beside her. Tae, why are we sitting? Yn sighed dramatically. Yn, my legs resigned. Tae, they resigned? Yn nodded sadly. Yn effective immediately. Tae turned around. Tae, come here. Yn blinked. Yn piggyback? Tae nodded. She climbed onto his back like an excited child. Yn wrapped her arms around his neck. Yn, you're my favorite taxi. Tae, do I at least get paid? Yn kissed his cheek loudly. Yn, that's your salary. Tae smiled. Tae, worst payment system ever. Yn, no refunds. Yan suddenly became quiet. She rested her forehead against his shoulder. Yan Tae. Tae whom? Yan what if? Yan someone prettier kisses you correctly, and you leave me? For the first time that night, Tae understood why she'd tried so hard. His heart ached. Tae, you don't need to change yourself, Yan. You don't have to become someone else because you're afraid of losing me. I didn't fall in love with a perfect girlfriend. Tae, I fell in love with the girl who laughs until she hiccups. Who feeds stray cats before feeding herself. Who gets jealous because someone says I might leave. And somehow manages to injure me during her very first kiss. Yan hid her face in embarrassment. Tae smiled. Tae, honestly, that's probably the most Yan first kiss has ever had. She laughed through her tears. Yan, it was really bad. Tae nodded. Tae, it was. Yan gasped. Yan traitor. Tae laughed. Tae, but it was ours. He carefully lifted her into his arms. Yan blinked sleepily. Yan, am I heavy? Tae, no. Yan, but I ate 2 burgers, and fries, and your fries. Tae, I knew it. Yan giggled proudly. When they reached her apartment, he tucked a blanket around her. Placed a glass of water beside the bed. Set medicine on the table. Turned off the bright lights. Before leaving, he felt a tiny tug on his sleeve. Yan was barely awake. Yan Tae. Tae leaned closer. Tae, yes? Yan smiled with sleepy eyes. Yan, next time. Can you teach me how to kiss without attempted murder? Tae laughed so softly that it almost sounded like a whisper. He kissed her forehead. Tae, we'll learn together. Yan smiled. Within seconds, she was asleep. Tae looked at her one last time before quietly switching off the bedside lamp. Outside, the moon hung peacefully above the city. Inside, the gentlest boy in the world closed the door softly, smiling to himself. Because even if their first kiss had ended with a bitten lip, it was still his favorite memory. After all, when love is real, perfection is never what makes it unforgettable. It's the laughter that follows.